Good morning. I miss you guys. I really do. I just hope everyone's well and hope everyone's doing okay. And it's time for us to get started back with Honors Math 3. So, what we're going to start today is we're going to review what we left off the Friday before break, before we were out, and that was with circles. So, I'm going to switch this right here and we're going to go back and do some circles. All right. So, here we go. The circles that we're going to start with today is going to be what we left off with was what we considered our circle was the standard form. And if you remember that the standard form of a circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where our center is h, k, the x value, and the y value. And remember, they're opposite of what it looks like up there. Okay, it is the minus is up there. Our radius is r. Okay, so the square root of what this is at this point, right? So if I am given, here's number one, if I am given that the center is 13, negative 13, and a radius is 4. I am asked then to write this into standard form. Well, I would take x minus the x value here is 13, square that. A circle has a plus in between. Y minus, my y value is a negative 13. So that is going to be a y plus 13. If I subtract a negative, it changes to a positive. Squared is equal to 4r squared, 4 squared, which is 16. So this then would be the answer if I'm asked to give the equation in standard form of a circle whose center is at 13, negative 13, and the radius is 4. Now, let's say example 2, I'm given that the center is negative 13, negative 16, and it goes through a point on the circle, which is negative 10, negative 16. All right, this is a little different. I know what the center is, so I know I can put that in here. But so I know what HK is, but I do not know what my radius is. I have two options. I can go back to my original equation up here and put in the point negative 10, negative 16 for x and y, while using my negative 13, negative 16 in for HK, and go ahead and do my calculation and figure out what my radius is. Or I can use the distance formula. If you remember the distance formula, this goes way back. It is the change in x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And it's the square root of all that. So I could put that in here. So my distance is the square root of the change in x's, negative 10 minus a negative 13 squared, plus negative 16 minus a negative 16 squared. So if I do this calculation, I have negative 10 plus 13 is 3 squared, which is 9, plus negative 16 plus 16 is 0. 0 squared is 0. So the distance between these 2 points is the square root of 9, or 3 units. Well, that's also my radius. So now I have all the information I need to put this in standard form. X minus negative 13 squared plus y minus, where is it, negative 16 squared is r squared, which is 9. And there we go with that one. Okay? And remember, if you have any questions on these when you get to doing your little worksheet, that I will be on between 10 and 11 today, and I will be on between 2 and 3 this afternoon. Okay? The next thing we have is the general form. Of a circle. And the general form of the circle is ax squared plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Okay? One of the things you need to see is that everything needs to be set equal to 0, and then we go from there. Another thing that's very important, A has to be equal to C. These coefficients have to be the exact same, all right, for it to be a circle. If not, we have an ellipse or something of that sort. Okay, so example 3 that I'm going to do is x squared plus y squared minus 12x plus 8y plus 32 is equal to 0. I have all this equal to 0, so at this point, I'm all right. So I'm going to get my x values together. Remember, I'm going to add something over here. I'm going to make this a perfect square binomial. I'm going to get my y values together. I'm going to move the 32 to the opposite side. And I'm running out of room. But since I'm adding something here on the left side and here on the right side, on the left side, I have to add them both on the right side also. So negative 32 plus whatever I'm going to add to make this a perfect square binomial. And then whatever I'm going to add right here to make this one a perfect square binomial. So now, to complete the square, x, I keep the same sign. This is minus. I'm going to keep a minus. Half of 12 is 6. 6 squared is 36. I add it there. I'm going to add it here. Okay? And now, I have the plus. Y. There's a plus sign here, so I'm going to keep the plus sign. I take half of 8, which is 4. 4 squared is 16. I'm going to add it to one side. I'm going to add it to the other side. All right? So now, if I take x squared minus 12x plus 36, right? If I factor that, I have x minus 6 squared. And if I factor y squared plus 8y plus 16, if I factor that, I have y plus 4 squared. I've added 36 and 16 on the left side, so I'm going to add them on the right side. And over here, this is equal to 36 minus 32 plus 16 is 20. And there we have it. That is our equation. So I have a center of 6, negative 4, and a radius of the square root of 20, which we could also say that is 2 square root of 5. Okay, just to simplify that. Right? And remember, you can rewind this and watch this again if you need to. I'm going to go through one more of those. Let's do one more example. Example 4. I have x squared minus 12x plus 84 is equal to negative y squared plus 16y. If you're looking at this, the first thing I need to do is I need to set everything equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract y squared from both sides, and I'm going to subtract 16y from both sides. And I think I'm going to go ahead and move the 84 to the right side of the equation by subtracting 84 from both sides. Okay, and remember, I'm going to add something here, and I'm going to add something here. So I need to do it on the right side also. I have x. I keep the negative sign. Half of 12 is 6. 6 squared is 36. I have the plus. Here I have y. I have a minus. I'm going to keep the minus sign. Half of 16 is 4. Excuse me, half of 16 is 8. 8 squared is 64. All right. So now double check myself. 36 and 64 is 100 minus 84 is 16. So my center is 6, 8. And my radius, the square root of 16 is 4. I hope this helps. I'm going to turn this off. I hope this helps you guys. Please do the little worksheet that we have. And this is my very first time doing a recording for you guys. So just know that I'm doing the best I can. And hopefully these recordings will get better as we go on. And I will talk with you soon. Have a great day. And I'm thinking about every one of you. Bye.